that awaits you and your master.
Do you not know death when you see it, old man? This is my power.
Are we all? I have a wee proposition, if you wouldn't mind giving me a few moments of your time. Would you consider just starting off to stand between me and my kin? I'll split his pretty head open, see if he's still smirking then.
He's clearly mad, like his cousin.
You hear that, lads? We're on! Let's give these bastards a good hammering! Gatnan! Dore Nur!
Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel Ultimate Knife Search. Today it's a little bit different video, if you can say so. It's also about knives. I will come to that, guys, but this video here is, I will tell you a little bit about my passion for the Lord of the Rings and Tolkien also, if you can say. We know, guys, when we start to get into these knife things here, we and somehow get inspired in something. And for me also, when you saw the Rambo movies and also when you saw the Commando movies and all the movies that Sylvester Stallone or Schwarzenegger made from in the old days, we all somehow got inspired in how they use their knives, and that's why I also love a knife today, because when you are a child and see something like that, you are cats into it. That was also the case with another thing, and that was something they called The Hobbit, or the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings. When I was a child, we live out in the country, and we don't have all these things we have today in the media, so we have to be playing with my imagination. So when I get a little bit older, we were always out in the forest and play with wooden swords and knives and play warriors or something like that. So when I get a little bit older, I began to read the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy books, and also I have read a lot of Tolkien's other books where he explained about the individual person in the Lord of the Rings or the Middle Earth fantasy world, if you can say so. If you have followed my channel, you know I am extremely, what can you say, I really love the history of Denmark. I love the history of the Vikings, and that's something I also can compare to the Tolkien's universe, because we all know almost all of you out there have seen the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and maybe read the books. And we all know the dwarfs are really. The dwarf is what can you say, the character I love the most in the Lord of the Rings universe, because they are so much similar to the Vikings. They love beer, so they have the big beard. They are warriors all the way into the bones. They love meat. They love beer. they love women, they love all the things, and they are a little bit, what can you say, hard-headed and stumble, and and they are not so recent, but there are something you can really if you take the dwarf and you take the Vikings, they are very similar. And there's a little bit, I will not go too deep into this, guys, because there are so many channels on YouTube. How if you are a nerd on the Lord of the Rings universe, you can go in and see these guys. But I will come a little bit why I love Tolkien so much and his fantasy histories. The Tolkien was also a scientist, and he take a big scientist here in Denmark. You can say the country here is set up in two. We have the what can you say, the big town, and we have some thing we call Jylland. He was an extreme scientist over here with animals and landscapes and something. He really loved these things. So he were in Denmark many times, and we have something that calls Helm Deeps, and we have something we call the Iron Hills, and also we have some Vikings here who call Danes, as he also use in his books. And I know Helm's Deep is something he has taken here from Denmark, and also the Iron Hills. And there are a little bit story more, because our queen here in Denmark now, she is still ruling here in Denmark. She was also a big fan of Tolkien's work. So she draw some drawings to send to Tolkien. We are way back now, I think maybe the late 60s, or maybe the first, I think it was the late 60s. She sent some drawings to him, and he was so fond of these drawings, and he published it in another book. That's nothing with the Lord of the Rings, but he published that. So you can say the connection with Tolkien's universe and our country has a very strong bond. So that's why I really love this universe, and I can't get enough of it. I'll say every time I see this universe there, I get a little bit, what can you say, touched to my Viking spirit again, because I love the dwarves and also the elf and the men in his universe. And I cannot make this video without mentioning, I am really, there are nothing who can beat Peter Jackson's movie with the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. They are not, what can you say, compared one to one with the books, but they have a good, you can follow you can almost say so, you can watch the movie and don't have to read the book, but that's not all true, because there are something different in the books that are not in the movie, and the other way around. So, but sorry guys, there are a new series right now on the Prime called The Power of Rings. I have seen that recently also, and I know there are many out there who what can you say, talk this series down, but you shall not compare these two things, the Lord of the Rings movies and this Power of the Ring. If you, what can you say, can take them for what they are into a similar way, I really what can you say, like the Rings of Power and the history behind it. If you have read the books and some more of the Tolkien's book, you can see the Rings of Power. And this how is what can I say, all started a little bit, and they have tried to take that into a series. And I think again, when we talk about dwarves, the first two what can I say, not season, the first two movies in that series, I was a little bit disappointed, I will not lie. But so we see the dwarves, and the dwarves take it to a whole other level. I can't wait to see season 2. And we also know now that there come another animated movie. Maybe Peter Jackson will get into that also. It will be an animated movie, I think, and War of the Rohirrim. So I can't wait to get. I love that universe, guys. I could make a video who was 10 hours long, only talking about Tolkien and his books and his fantasy and thinking and how he do it. But I will not do that, guys, because this is a knife channel, and that will also lead me to. That's why I really love these. What can you say? Weird looked knife here, guys. This is the Wilson from Work Tough Gear, and look at this, guys. I really love this knife because you know, when you are in love in something, the Vikings and this Tolkien universe, this knife here is something a big orc could have carried. Look at this, guys. This could really split a head in two on some elf or something. This is a really badass knife. So that's also why I buy some wicked look knife, because I think they have some old Middle Earth look to them. So I really think this is an awesome nice knife. And that's also get to another Work Tough Gear knife, one of my favorite knives at the time. This is the Caviars, guys. Look at this. This is really something. I would say even to an elven knife. An elven could really have carried this knife here, because the shape of it and how this handle are made there. And that could also have been a orc knife, because it has some darkness to it. And we all know darkness from Sauron and the orcs are something that I really appreciate. So these two here are really badass knives from Work Tough Gear, and I love them and also love to use them. This knife here is my favorite at the time, because there's something, if I can explain it quickly, I will say, when I go for my hiking trips, of course I am a grown man, guys. I know I am not, I'm not in the Lord of the Rings or something, but as you all know, when you see the Rambo movies and as adult you go out and use your knife, there are a little bit Rambo hair back in your head. So when you use your knife, you feel a little bit like Rambo. I will also say, guys, when I go out in the forest for a hike and use this Caviars knife here, I also feel like a little bit of an elven, maybe Glorfindel, a warrior or something like that, or when I I use this, I can pretend I am a orc or something like that. So, but there are some good whacking spirits to this knife here, and I really love them. So I will not get in too deep in this video here, because I mean now I have had the channel here for some while, and I think I could tell you a little bit. I know I have made a video that called Behind the Warrior. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and something, and you can see it if you are interested in it, or you can not do it. It's up to you. But that was something I don't mention in that video, was my passion for Lord of the Rings, because it will have been too long. But I think now I have to share this passion, and I know there are others out there, guys, who also have this passion for Lord of the Rings and the dwarf and how this Middle Earth universe inspired something beautiful like that. That's just awesome. So I will sign out now, guys, and I hope you enjoy this video here, and please leave a comment down below if you are a Lord of the Rings fan. Also, I will say, if you can measure 1 to 10 how high I am on a fan, I will say I am an 8, because if you are a 10, you will have to travel to New Zealand to visit all the hobbit holes or something. I have not been that yet, but I will. So I am an 8 on a scale of a Tolkien or Lord of the Rings fan, if you can say so. So yes, I only have one thing more to say, and that is, don't go hiking. Go hiking!